everybody. Welcome back to Sandy's house, where ingredients and taste meet. We have another fantastic recipe for you. Today we will be baking peanut butter cookies. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out and say congratulations to a former colleague and friend, Brenda Montgomery Telford, on the release of her new book, The Girl Who Loved School but Hated Recess. This is a heartfelt children's book inspired by a true story that encourages children to embrace their uniqueness, build confidence, find strength in what makes them different. It is truly a tender and relatable journey that reminds children that they are not alone and that their differences can be their greatest gift. It is an amazing story. I want to read you an excerpt from the book, and it says, "You may feel different sometimes, and that's okay, because the very thing that makes you different might just be the thing that makes you special." I loved this book. It is a story of tenacity and strength, bravery, friendship, and love. The messaging is for children and adults. And Brenda, I pray that your book touches children around the globe. It is very, very, very inspiring. And I want to wish you the best and all the success in the world with it. So with that, let's bake some peanut butter cookies. Okay, we're going to start with the creaming method. And if you've been baking with me for a while, you know that the creaming method consists of softened butter. And we're going to mix the butter and our sugar together. So we have 1 stick of butter, which is 113 grams. We've got a half a cup of white sugar and a half cup of brown sugar. And somebody might ask, well, why don't you use all brown sugar? Because brown sugar will cause your cookies to spread too much. So we use half and half to balance it out. So we're going to mix this until it's just combined. Once we get the butter and sugar combined, then we're going to add our peanut butter. You might want to taste your peanut butter before adding it. Some peanut butters are a little more salty than others, which will determine how much salt you add. So if it's not as salty, then you'll add, I'm going to add about 1/4 of a teaspoon. If you like your cookies a little more salty, then you can add up to 1/2 a teaspoon. My peanut butter isn't all that salty, and I don't really like a lot of salt, so I'm only going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, because it does have some salt in it, but it's not like super salty. Okay, and we're going to get this all creamed together. And this is going to add that nice peanut butter flavor that we're looking for. We want to get this fully incorporated, fully combined before we move on. I have some vanilla paste here. I'm not using extract today. I actually have vanilla paste because I really want to bring out the vanilla flavor in this cookie. But you can use extract if that's what you have. And I'm going to add it to my egg and add these two together. This isn't necessary. It's just a technique that I like to use. Now, while that's mixing, I'm going to add my 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This is 1.5 cups of sifted flour. You don't want any lumps in your flour, so you do want to sift it. And I have 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and I have a tablespoon of cornstarch. What the cornstarch is going to do is create a crispy exterior on my cookie, and the interior, the inside of the cookie is going to be nice and soft. And so I want to get this all combined so that it incorporates easily into our batter, and we don't have a lump of sugar here, a lump of baking powder there. It's all incorporated nicely. And then again, if you've been baking with me for a while, you know that I add my flour in thirds. And at this point, I add a little bit and then I just pulse it. Because you can have all of the best ingredients, but if you overwork your batter, you're gonna get a tough cookie. So at this point, I'm just gonna pulse. I'm not gonna completely mix because I just wanna mix to combine. And I'm gonna add a little more flour. And we're gonna pulse. I've already preheated my oven to 350 because this recipe actually moves fairly quickly. So you want your oven ready when your batter is ready. Okay? So that's the last of our flour. And that's it. Okay, and we're gonna move over to the counter. Make sure this is all nicely incorporated. There are no butter or flour pockets. Everything is combined. And then we're ready to scoop up, put these babies in the oven. Okay, so I have worked this together so that I have no butter or flour that didn't get incorporated into our batter. We're gonna scoop them up. So I've got my scooper here. And what I'm using is called a silpat. And it has fiberglass mesh that promotes even baking. So I like using a silpat. It's easy cleanup. It's a non-stick surface, but you could very well use parchment paper. So what I'm gonna do is scoop up some of my dough here. And then I'm gonna roll it around in my hand. And I'm gonna do this for each one. Now these cookies shouldn't spread too much. So, did you know that the peanut butter cookie came on the scene late? It didn't come on the scene until about 1916. And it's attributed to George Washington Carver. Though he did not invent peanut butter itself, he is responsible for getting peanut butter into American homes. He wrote several peanut butter based recipes as a way of encouraging southern farmers to grow peanuts as a sustainable alternative to cotton. So that's how peanut butter cookies came on the scene. And the crisscross pattern wasn't a part of his original recipe. That came later when people discovered if you smash the cookies and then put this crisscross pattern in there, it promoted even baking. So I'm just going to get this pattern on all of the cookies, and then we're ready to put these in the oven. And that's it. That's the peanut butter cookie recipe. All right, everybody. Our peanut butter cookies are out of the oven. They are nice and crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside. As you can see, I am going to enjoy these with a glass of milk. I hope you give this recipe a try. Listen, I want to thank my friend Brenda for giving me the opportunity to share her work today. The girl who loved school but hated recess. If you want to get a copy, the link will be in the description. So let us close out as we usually do. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord protect you. May the Lord shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace as only he can. And we will see you next time. Bye. Thank you for baking it breezy with me.